Hi everyone, this is LAR Games, and today I'm watching episode 2 of I'm a Spider, So What? Now, last episode, I was a bit sleep deprived, so I might have missed a couple of things. Um, so hopefully this time goes better. I had a lot of coffee, but that doesn't tend to affect me a lot, so hopefully it helps this time. Um, I'm not sleep deprived this time. I slept like a good 4 hours this time, so should be better. Um, there was a couple of comments pointing out how I didn't notice that the elf girl was the teacher, and I replied to a couple of those comments saying, I didn't notice it and stuff like that, uh, which technically is true because I did read that they were saying teacher, but at the same time, for some reason in my mind, I thought like this is their teacher in the new world, that they're teaching them something for some reason. The characters weren't introduced like at all in their original state, and I didn't know what the transition is like from their old lives into their new ones. So it was hard to make heads or tails of what they were to each other, who was reincarnated and who wasn't. Uh, Especially since they all had like different. It seemed to me like they all had different like origins. Like they were reincarnated into a body who like was already there for some reason. That's what it felt like. I'm not entirely sure what the details of that are because it didn't seem like they started from scratch. It didn't seem like their bodies were transferred over. It seems like their soul was put into an already existing organism. So they basically took over the soul of whatever character that already existed there. That's what it seems like to me. Um, so it's a bit unclear at the moment. I know that people who read the source, like either the manga or the original source, the light novel slash web novel, they know exactly what everyone is, what they're doing there, what things are leading up to. But to somebody that's watching it for the first time, these intros were not very clear. We were being introduced to the characters, having them already been reincarnated, having them already been acclimated to their new environment. Not only that, this is the first time we're actually meeting them. And despite what people say about us having seen them before in the original world, yes, they did show them, just snippets of them. We didn't see their personalities, we didn't see their names, we didn't see how they interacted with each other. So that wasn't an introduction. That was just a glimpse at what they used to be like. And not even a good one. It was like a couple of seconds. So that does not count as an introduction for the characters. Our first introduction to the characters were when they already were in that world. And there was a giant group of people that we were seeing in that scene, in those scenes where they were just talking to each other. I had no idea what their previous relationships were. And like I mentioned before, yes, they were calling the elf girl Sensei, but I had no idea if it was like Sensei from our old world or Sensei of our new world. I kind of assumed that like maybe the elf was teaching them the ropes of the new world, which is why I didn't really think it was like, oh, that's the old teacher, because I already established it in my mind that the teacher from the old world was our main character. And the reason I thought that was because out of all the characters that showed up in that like previous world scene, the establishing shots and all that, it felt to me like the most focal person in those shots was the teacher. So I thought, oh, that's going to be the main character. And then, went on to show the spider's view and stuff. So the way the anime showed it was kind of misleading. But I'm sure the actual novel has like some sort of first person thing where they're like, oh, today I'm going to school. Oh, what's this light? And then it goes on from there. Um, so yeah, those confusions were cleared up. Also, a lot of people are really quick to uh, fill in some gaps that the anime is leaving out, which is fair enough. Like, I understand the desire to do so. Um, the most recent one I read was one where they pointed out the size. Like, I had a couple of comments mentioning her size, I think, like one or two. Uh, but I would not have realized that until I actually saw her compared to something else, which would have been an interesting reaction from me, I think. But now that I know that, it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, well, I already knew that. So it'd be nice if like things that I would discover on my own just by watching, you kind of leave out of the explanations. Um, and even then, like if I do end up enjoying the series, I'm probably gonna end up reading the multiple sources for it because that's what I do with everything. If I like the anime, I'm going to read the manga. After I read the manga, I'm going to read the light novel. And it's usually either the light novel or the web novel because it's sort of similar. The light novel is usually a refined version of the web novel. Usually they change like entire things. But in terms of reading, I usually choose one or the other. If the web novel is completed, I usually go for the web novel. If the light novel is completed, then I'll definitely go for the light novel because it's like the refined version, the like de facto version that's adapted into everything else. Because the web novel is essentially just a rough draft of the work, just the initial ideas. So I'll only really do that if I can't read the whole uh, light novel, or if like the web novel is actually still being written, so I could keep up with it or something. Uh, yeah, so that's how I typically go for that. Um, but yeah, the point of this was that if there's things that I'm looking forward to seeing being filled in, and I do enjoy the series overall, I'm going to look forward to discovering those things. So I don't know how much I'm gonna like. I try to read most comments, or if not all comments. Uh, but when I'm watching something blind, I typically tend to like to discover things on my own. Uh, So yeah, you can still comment on that stuff, and it's I'm not going to blame you for it, but obviously spoilers are completely off the table. If something hasn't happened yet or hasn't been covered by the anime yet, like if it's going to, or you think it's going to, like it might just skip it, like all adaptations eventually do at some point to something that you want to see adapted. If it hasn't happened yet, then don't say anything because it hasn't happened yet. That's a spoiler. Uh, but yeah, with that said, let's just get into this episode. I forgot to turn on my headset. So I guess we're seeing a little tiny glimpse of them again. Oh, really? They're going this route? Oh no, she's being bullied. But yeah, also this, I don't know why, but they're obscuring everyone. It's like they don't want to introduce us to those characters yet. I'm gonna skip this. Once again, I'll watch it at the end of the season. I guess we're going back to these guys again. So they reincarnated into the bodies of actual people. They took over their lives. That's kind of disturbing. Did they kill? So like they replaced the souls of those people, or were they dying or something? And then they took over their empty shells of bodies or something. That would be more acceptable. So I guess they do retain the memories and the experiences from the people that they're possessing, essentially. Because he is calling him Nisama. It seems like almost to the point where their personalities or souls were mixed, which is also disturbing. Because if that's the case, that means that they essentially died when they were reincarnated. Their original selves are no more. So the original person in this world and the person being reincarnated are gone. It's a new being with a fusion of both of their elements, their personality elements. Well, yeah, that's definitely true. Oh, so she was one of the bullies. Well, she got punished as well, so. Well, at least she's reflecting on it. Ooh, is that a twin tail? Oh, it's the elf girl who used to be the sensei. So is she a sensei both in the past and the current situation? It does seem like she wants to talk to her again and probably apologize for everything that she's done, which is commendable. And it does make it easier to not hate these characters that aren't the main characters. Well, the main character. And here we go again. Oh, that's. Oh, right for the neck. I feel calling it enjoying might be a little of a strong word there. Oh, shedding, huh? Nice. So does leveling up heal you essentially like in Pokemon? I think Pokemon does that. People don't like it when people compare this to slime, but there's so many similar elements, including the fact that the characters are talking to a voice that's telling them their skills. You know, I don't even have full field of vision because I wear glasses. I can only see well in the FOV of what the glasses cover. That's a really thick string. She's not gonna eat him, is she? I hope not. So you can see the size comparison now. She is a bit bigger than I would have thought. I thought she was like rat sized or something, but it seems she's like small dog sized, or you know what, decently big dog sized. She made hinges somehow with her thread. Also, that headband. Okay, that makes sense. You need a TV, definitely. It seems actually fluffy somehow. Then again, it makes sense. It's silk, presumably, even though it might be some like magical silk or something. You'll need to make fire first. Oh well, but it's like a dragon egg or something at this point. Oh, leverage and using gravity. But even that didn't do anything. Oh, forgive me here because I want to talk about something. I'm going to pause it, but you can see exactly where I paused it. Um, I was about to say that some people commented on the fact that I said that she's OP. Well, apparently, this has less in common with Rimuru's initial level up, and it has more in common with Arifureta and that main character's struggle for survival, basically. Of course, the anime adaptation of Arifureta is like one of the worst things I've ever seen. So it actually skipped almost the entirety of his survival and made it seem like he just leveled up incredibly easy, and there was not much suffering because that character goes through like some of the most hellish experiences to get to the point where he is like episode 3 or something, which I hate. The entire season should have been him surviving and getting stronger. So, okay, she has more in common with him, if that's the case. She's slowly going to crawl her way up and through great difficulty to eventually probably being pretty powerful. So, as of right now, she's not OP, but I'm hoping, at some point she's going to get stronger than other people that have come over from the other world, or at least be able to defeat them in some way, if, she ever needs to. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope they don't actually become antagonists because, again, I don't want to hate those characters. I don't want to be against them because those, like, in another show, I would like them to be the main characters, or specifically speaking, the main prince guy. Um, but yeah, like I said, seems like she has more in common with Hajime rather than uh, Rimuru. So yeah, with that said, let's just continue because I don't want to talk and kind of not pay attention. Um, the way I record this, I have the ability to pause it, and you can follow along with me relatively easy. Um, so yeah. Oh, so it can level up on its own. Nice. I feel like that could get pretty OP once it's leveled up enough. Oh, okay, yeah, that was right. I really love the animation on the spider. It's just so good. I know it's 3D, but that actually kind of enhances it. This is one of the situations when using 3D on a character is actually beneficial. Seems there's lots of people coming. Oh, we got a party over here. No, they're probably here for the egg. Or you could run away. That's awesome. Oh, she has like tunnels. Where did the egg go, though? Oh man, there's a bunch of them. I guess that egg is like a really important thing for the kingdom or something. You know, one of the most amazing things about living in an isekai world is that your effort is always rewarded in some form. Everything you do is a permanent upgrade to yourself. So no matter what, you're advancing in some way. I guess they're going to do the whole periodic flashback thing. Not really a fan of that, but yeah, they got the egg. That egg is really big. Oh, is she going to kill them? Oh, she has night vision level 9. Okay, she's not going to fight the humans. She's lucky she's actually surviving these encounters. You know, this actually reminds me of another isekai that I really love, and it's really funny, where the protagonist, whenever he looks at his status, it kind of makes fun of him every single time. Like it would call him like a disgusting, smelly human or something like that. Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, okay, it does restore her after leveling up. I think the isekai I'm thinking of is called Shinka no Mi or something like that. So she's probably gonna have to resort to using, well, not resort, but like rely more on uh, intelligent tactics rather than brute force, at least for a while. That thing is extremely disturbing, and I don't want to see it anymore. I hate it. I hate it. Stop showing it. Oh my god. It was like a centipede or something. Oh, I hate those. I think she came across this last episode. Oh, nice. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, that is like nightmare fuel. You could probably Spider-Man your way out of this. I don't think they can make webs, so you could probably like shoot a web up and then pull yourself up pretty easily. I don't think I talked about this before, but I'm wondering, don't answer this, obviously. I'm going to see eventually. But I'm wondering how levels impact the actual skills. And by that I mean like what is level 5 detection? Is it good? Is it like 5 out of 100? 5 out of 1,000? Sometimes like a level 5 in some universes would be like the maximum, like 5 out of 5. You're like a god tier. Isekai I'm reading right now has something like that. Oh, okay. That looks terrible. I don't like that one. That 3D does not look good. I probably mentioned this last episode, but some things really need to use better shaders. I feel like they got it perfect on some and then just reused it for everything else, making everything similarly shiny when it shouldn't be. Let's hope that his oof. Let's hope that his mouth works like an alligator's and he can't really exert much force opening compared to closing. Fortunately, she could actually like penetrate his scales. Oh wow. I'm surprised a small puncture wound like that was able to kill it. And then again, she does have poison, so probably her fang is her like bite is probably really deadly. Is she actually looking different? Because I can't really tell the difference between what she looked like before and what she looks like now. I think the shapes of her spots are changing, maybe. Oh, nice. Oh, she can evolve now. Oh, she's like an Eevee. She's still a Terratect. I agree with that. I think it's like, if we think of it in Skyrim terms, uh, choosing between a lesser soul gem and a small regular soul gem. Oh, it's over already. All right. I'm going to check to see if there's anything at the end, so let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm thinking that if she does level up enough at some point, because dragons, if she becomes like a actual dragon, then she probably might have the option to shapeshift, because dragons can do that a lot of the time. Is it because they tried to take the egg? Again, she probably feels that way because she's fused with the being that used to be that dragon or whatever species she is now. So she still has the lingering attachments and memories of whoever that used to be. So it makes sense that she would feel something because of something her race did. It is a little bit confusing, but I feel like it's clear enough that they definitely did fuse with the person that they took over. So I wonder if it's actually gonna like go into that, how like kind of disturbing that idea is. There's one isekai that I really loved. I think it was like a Chinese or Korean one, where the main character took over the body of someone who was already alive. It was basically like a prince that nobody cared about. He was kind of like a terrible person and stuff. But he only took over once that person actually died because he was poisoned. And right as he was poisoned and dying, he took over the body. It's like he replaced him because they were going to die anyway. And I think that's a much more acceptable version of this because, yes, he still has the memories of the prince, but that prince was already dead when he took over. There's none of the prince left over besides just like the memories. It's basically like knowledge, which you would remember kind of like as a person you played as in a game. Not really like, oh, I did this, I did that. But in this case, I feel like they fused. They took over the memories, but also it's almost like the person also took over their memories. They turn into one person that both have elements of each. So the original forms of both are just gone now, which is kind of disturbing. So I wonder again if they're going to go into that because it would be an interesting topic to think about. But yeah, that's it for my reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.